Highs and lows are a part of life. Such patterns are commonly seen in the business world. Maintaining and keeping up with business trends and investing in the right way is no easy thing. Some of the business dealers lack at it, and therefore, we hear news of major downfalls often. Some of the world's richest people have declared bankruptcy, while others have come out as completely broke. Many factors contributed to their downfall. Today, we have a list of the 10 richest people who lost all of their wealth and how they got through it. Number 10. Patricia KLUGE. A former heiress and model, Patricia met and tied the knot for a second time with John W. KLUGE on a trip to New York City. They married in 1981. He was considered one of the richest people with a net worth of $5 billion. 9 years later, the couple divorced, and Patricia KLUGE received a hefty settlement to the tune of $1 million a year, plus the couple's sprawling Albemarle estate. Never did she think that this would result in a sudden fall for her. She intended to make the most from the property. She wanted to turn it into a business empire. She opened the KLUGE Estate Winery and Vineyard on 960 acres of land near Albemarle in collaboration with her third husband, William Bill Moses. She saw a brief period of success, but after some poor investments and ill luck, she faced a sudden downfall and lost it all. She even had to auction her jewelry and art pieces. Number 9. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is one of the finest actors of Hollywood. He was also one of the highest paid celebrities during his time to fame. Adored and respected among filmmakers, he was reportedly getting paid hefty paychecks. But turns out, he was also a great spender of money. Owning to his interests, Cage purchased many homes, automobiles, and rare artifacts. However, in 2015, reports started to emerge about how he blew his $150 million fortune from 1996 to 2011. But there was tax imposed on his several properties, which led him to a difficult time.
But sometimes nothing will happen, and then it's like a microcosm of life, and you think you're invincible, and this is the way life really is. And then you get a horrible thing that happens, and you realize that that's the reality of the situation.
He failed to pay his whopping tax bills in millions in 2007, and he had to sell many of his personal belongings, including a treasured comic book. Now, he's worth $25 million, way less than most of his fellow stars. Number 8. Mike Tyson. Michael Gerard Tyson is an American former professional boxer who competed from 1985 to 2005. He reigned as the undisputed world heavyweight champion and holds the record as the youngest boxer to win a heavyweight title. He also suffered major downfalls during his career. He earned a whopping fortune of $400 million during his career. In 2003, he owed money to the IRS, British tax authorities, a personal trainer, lawyer, a financial manager, and a music producer, among others. He also had to pay $10 million for divorce settlements and was also behind on child support.
I don't know. There's no words to describe it. I'm waiting for it to stop bothering me or everything, but some people say it never stops. I talk to people.
He declared for bankruptcy and returned to jail. He later went through rehab before achieving financial stability. In 2018, Tyson started a marijuana company in California called the Ranch Companies after retiring from fighting. Number 7. Vijay Mallya. An Indian liquor tycoon known for extravagant partying, nightlife, and high-flying lifestyle, Vijay enjoyed a period of huge business success. He was one of the richest people in Asia and around the world. He also owned the now-defunct Indian airline company, Kingfisher Airlines. His downfall began in 2012, when it was revealed that he was subject to several bank debts. He defaulted on payment, and Indian banks came looking for him. He had a diplomatic passport as he was a member of Upper House of Parliament of India. He then fled to the UK. He's been accused of bank fraud and money laundering charges, amounting to an estimated Rs 90 billion, approximately $1.3 billion. Banks are trying to extradite him to pursue legal action. Number 6. Sean Quinn. An Irish business tycoon, Sean Quinn was known for his successful business deals in the market. He had huge investments in industries such as plastics, glass, and hotels. He also had a 25% stake in Anglo-Irish Bank. It had a financial crisis, and the bank was taken over by the government. This led to a series of legal troubles between the Quinn family and the bank. He had a net worth of $2.8 billion. It was revealed by the Irish Bank Resolution Corporation, which took over Anglo-Irish Bank, that Quinn owed the bank more than €2 billion. He was charged with contempt from the court in an attempt to hide his assets. When he applied for bankruptcy, it was revealed that his assets were worth less than £50,000.
If I'm to blame for any of it, all I can do is apologise for that. We certainly made mistakes, made lots of mistakes.
Number 5. Elizabeth Holmes. She was one of the most praised stars of Silicon Valley. She had a net worth of about $5 billion. Her blood testing company, Theranos, was valued at $9 billion. The company aimed to revolutionize the way patients are tested and treated for various diseases and illnesses. As the buzz around the company grew stronger, so did the speculations about the company's practices. Investigations resulted in many concerns raised against the company, and it not only lost most of its credibility, but major investors also left. After multiple lawsuits, layoffs, and a federal allegation that Holmes had conducted massive fraud, Theranos closed its doors. Holmes and her partner Sunny Balwani were charged with wire fraud. Their trial is set to begin in 2020. Forbes now lists her net worth at $0.
When you have that passion, you will get back up when you get knocked down. All sorts of people say all sorts of things. Our perspective is to keep our heads down. And there's nothing like rolling your sleeves up and failing a bunch of times to figure out how to do it right.
Number 4. Jocelyn Wildenstein. She's known in media as the Feline Lady for her feline-like appearance. Once worth billions, she has way less fortune now. She received a huge fortune in her divorce settlement, which was around $2.5 billion, but she was used to a lavish lifestyle and spent the majority of her fortune on unnecessary things. It was rumored that she used to spend $1 million a month on lavish purchases and $5,000 a month on her phone bill. Much of her financial troubles, she said, are from a faulty divorce settlement. She told that she was promised much more. She was given 2 paintings in the settlement, one by Diego Velázquez that turned out to be a forgery, and another by Paul Cézanne that sold for a fraction of what it was originally appraised at. When she filed for bankruptcy, it was revealed that she had a monthly income of $0 and she was surviving on $900 from Social Security payments and donations from family and friends. Number 3. Ike Batista. He was one of the richest men in Brazil, with a huge net worth of $30 billion. He was a self-made billionaire and became an inspiration for the younger generation in Brazil. All his aspirations came crashing down when his oil company OGX went bankrupt, and he lost the majority of his wealth. The company failed to meet demands, and there was also a decline in the country's economy. As authorities began investigating Brazil's top companies and why they had declined so quickly, they charged Batista with money laundering and corruption. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison for bribing former Rio de Janeiro governor Sergio Cabral. Number 2. Björgulfur Gudmundsson. He was once the second richest man in Iceland and was one of the major stakeholders in an Icelandic bank. He also had the rights of UK football team West Ham. In 2009, he had to file for bankruptcy in Iceland. His bankruptcy protection covered a whopping $759 million in debt. At the time, it was the biggest bankruptcy filing in Icelandic history. Much of the trouble came from difficulties the bank faced during poor Icelandic economy during the recession. After the bank went under in October 2008, Forbes revised Gudmundsson's net worth from $1.2 billion to 0 when the billionaire declared bankruptcy. Number 1. Alan Stanford. Alan was the chairman of now-defunct Stanford Financial Group of companies. He holds dual citizenship, being a citizen of Antigua, Barbuda, and the United States. His major sources of wealth were real estate and many insurance firms. He was also a sponsor of professional sports. He contributed millions of dollars to politicians in both Antigua and the United States. On February 17, 2009, he was charged by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, with fraud and multiple violations of U.S. securities law for alleged massive ongoing fraud involving $7 billion in certificates of deposits.
Never have we done anything that I'm not proud of. Never have we done anything, to the best of my knowledge, that was illegal or wrong. And if there are things that were done that outside of my direct control, I don't know what to say.
He surrendered to authorities in his cases. On March 6, 2012, Stanford was convicted on all charges except a single count of wire fraud. Now, he's serving 110 years in prison. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for informative and entertaining content.